All right, everybody, welcome back for another deep dive. Today, we're tackling something I think we all can relate to, turning those big dreams into something real.
Definitely.
I was going through all this advice on personal growth and achieving goals, and I gotta say,
Yeah.
some of it is so practical, it's like they're handing us a cheat sheet for life.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing that stood out to me
Yeah.
from these different sources
Yeah.
was this big focus on self-awareness.
Okay.
But it wasn't just like general self-awareness. These sources go deeper. They're suggesting specific exercises and strategies to really get to know yourself.
Okay, so it's not just know thyself, it's like know thyself
Right.
in detail.
Exactly.
So before you even think about how you're going to achieve a dream,
Right.
you need to understand why that particular dream matters to you.
Yeah. One source even talked about like listing your core values
Okay.
and then comparing your dream to that list.
I like that.
It's all about making sure your dream actually lines up with
Right.
what you truly believe in.
It's like making sure you're not chasing someone else's dream, right?
Exactly.
It's got to be something that resonates with
Yes.
who you are at your core.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about the why. Now how about the how?
Yes.
How do these sources say to turn a dream into something you can actually achieve?
Well, they all talk about the importance of setting really concrete goals.
Okay.
So instead of just saying, I want to travel the world,
Right.
you need to get really specific. Where do you want to go?
Right.
What experiences do you want to have?
Okay.
How will you make it happen?
So it's like taking this big fuzzy dream and breaking it down into smaller, more tangible goals.
Exactly.
Is that kind of like how people train for a marathon?
Yeah. That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
One of the sources uses this analogy of climbing a mountain.
Okay.
It seems impossible from the bottom,
Right.
but if you just focus on that next step, that next handhold,
Right.
it suddenly feels a lot more manageable.
That makes a lot of sense, yeah. It's like
Yeah.
with writing, right?
Yeah.
Instead of freaking out about writing a whole novel,
Right.
just focus on writing one page a day.
Right.
And before you know it,
Right.
you've made significant progress. But what about when you hit a wall?
Yeah.
These sources got to talk about motivation and dealing with setbacks, right?
Oh, absolutely. They emphasize planning for those obstacles in advance.
Okay.
So it's not just hoping for the best.
Right.
It's about thinking, okay, what could potentially go wrong?
Right.
And how can I prepare for that?
I remember when I was trying to, actually, never mind. But yeah, having a plan B can really be a lifesaver. It's like those moments when you're exhausted and about to make a bad decision.
Yeah.
If you've already thought through those scenarios and made a plan,
Right.
you're less likely to, like, derail your progress.
I think a lot of people struggle with that kind of proactive thinking, but it can make all the difference. There's this quote from one of the sources that really stuck with me. Do not believe in the impossible and do not give up.
I like that. I might steal that one from my office. Okay, so we've got self-awareness, specific goals, and planning for obstacles.
Yeah.
What about actually doing the thing? Any practical advice from these sources on how to turn plans into action?
Oh, tons of practical tips.
Okay.
What's interesting is a lot of them focus on shifting your mindset from dreaming to doing.
Okay.
One source talked about the importance of actually writing down your dreams,
We got it.
not just having them float around in your head.
So it's about making them tangible, making them real.
Exactly.
I feel like I've heard that before. Something about
Yeah.
a goal not written down is just a wish.
Exactly. And along those same lines,
Okay.
the sources suggest setting deadlines for yourself,
Okay.
even if they're self-imposed.
Gotcha. So deadlines, written goals.
Mhm.
What else do they recommend to stay on track and motivated?
Well, they emphasize the importance of support systems. Surrounding yourself with people who believe in you,
Right.
who can offer encouragement or even a little tough love when you need it.
So it's not about going it alone.
Right.
It's about building a team
Mhm.
team of cheerleaders and accountability buddies.
Exactly. And they also mention finding motivational sources,
Right.
whether it's a book or a podcast,
Mm.
a playlist of inspiring music,
Yeah.
anything that keeps your energy and enthusiasm high.
That makes me think of something I found kind of surprising in these sources. This connection between well-being and achieving goals.
Oh, yeah. They all touch on that.
Okay.
One source actually argued that self-care isn't just about feeling good.
Yeah.
It's about setting yourself up for success.
Okay.
It's about having the energy and the mental clarity to actually pursue your dreams effectively.
So no more, I'll sleep when I'm successful, huh?
Right, because
Yeah.
burning yourself out just sabotages your efforts in the long run.
Right.
When you're feeling good physically and mentally, you're naturally more focused, more resilient, and more likely to make good decisions.
It's like anything else, right?
Yeah.
You need to have the right fuel to keep the engine running.
That's a great way to put it. And it's not just about avoiding burnout, it's about actively nurturing your well-being so you can show up as your best self
Yeah.
on this journey.
This is so much more than just setting a goal and hoping to the best, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It's about understanding yourself, taking care of yourself,
Right.
and building a support system and motivation around you.
That's exactly what these sources highlight. It's a holistic approach
Yeah.
to achieving your dreams.
Okay.
Recognizing that your well-being, your mindset,
Right.
your support system are all integral parts of the process.
We've covered a lot, but there's one thing I keep thinking about. What about those times when things get really tough?
Yeah.
Even with all the prep and the self-care.
Yeah.
These sources have to talk about dealing with those moments, right?
You're right. And they actually dedicate quite a bit of space to that. It's not about avoiding discomfort altogether because, let's be honest, that's impossible.
Right.
It's about learning to embrace those challenging moments
Okay.
as opportunities for growth.
Instead of seeing them as failures, you see them as, growing pains.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they offer some really practical advice
Okay.
on how to navigate those moments,
That's
how to reframe your perspective and build resilience.
okay.
But I think we should dive into those strategies in the next part of our deep dive.
Okay, cliffhanger. Listeners, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more insights from these awesome sources. We'll be talking about how to embrace the messy, uncomfortable parts of the journey and use them to fuel your dream.
Definitely.
Hope we're back. And ready to tackle the maybe not so fun part of chasing dreams.
Right.
Those moments where, things just get tough. Even when you've got your plan all laid out, you've got your self-care routine. I'm curious what these sources say about navigating those challenges.
Yeah, it's interesting. None of them sugarcoat it.
Right.
They acknowledge that, discomfort, it's going to happen. It's inevitable.
Yeah.
On the path to
Right.
achieving any worthwhile dream, it's like they're saying, hey, this is going to get messy and
Right.
that's okay.
It makes sense, though. I mean, if it was easy, everyone would do it.
Right, exactly.
How do these sources suggest we deal with those moments of doubt or frustration
Right.
or just plain old exhaustion?
Yeah. Well, one source had a really interesting take on it.
Okay.
It said something like, the difference between those who achieve their dreams and those who don't is often not talent or resources,
Okay.
but the ability to embrace discomfort.
Ooh, I like that. So it's not about avoiding the hard parts.
Right.
It's about changing how we view those hard parts.
Exactly. And several of them talk about reframing your perspective.
Okay.
Instead of looking at challenges as failures. Right.
See them as opportunities to learn and grow.
Okay.
Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to become stronger
Yeah.
and more resilient?
It's like that whole fail forward concept.
Yeah.
You're not truly failing unless you're not learning from the mistakes.
Exactly. Another source talked about the importance of self-compassion
Okay.
in those moments.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
It's easy to beat ourselves up when we hit a roadblock,
Yeah.
but remembering to be kind to ourselves
Yes.
can make a big difference. I think that's something I struggle with.
Yeah.
It's like I can give my friends the best pep talks,
Right.
all the understanding in the world, but when it comes to myself,
Yeah.
super harsh.
I think a lot of people experience that. One source actually suggested a specific exercise for cultivating self-compassion.
Oh, okay.
Imagine a friend coming to you with the same challenge you're facing.
Okay.
What would you say to them? How would you offer support and encouragement?
And then try to offer that same level of kindness and understanding to yourself.
That's a good one. Let me try that.
Yeah.
Okay, but what about when self-compassion just isn't enough
Right.
to get through those really, really tough moments?
Right. And that's where these sources talk about the importance of perseverance.
Okay,
They all emphasize there will be times when you want to give up,
right.
when the dream feels too far away or the challenges feel overwhelming.
Yeah,
It's in those moments that your true grit,
right.
your determination is tested.
It's like that saying, it's not about how many times you fall, it's about how many times you get back up.
Exactly. And they offer some tips for cultivating that perseverance.
Right.
One suggests breaking down the challenge into smaller, more manageable steps,
Okay.
just like we talked about with goal setting. Another emphasizes celebrating small victories
Okay.
along the way to keep that motivation high.
So it's about taking it one step at a time, acknowledging the progress you've made, and not letting those moments of doubt derail you.
Exactly. And, it's interesting. These sources don't just talk about perseverance
Yeah.
in terms of overcoming obstacles. They also talk about it as a key ingredient for long-term success.
Oh, how so?
Well, one pointed out that achieving a dream, it's rarely a linear process.
Right.
There will be ups and downs, twists and turns, unexpected detours. It's your ability to persevere, to
Yeah.
adapt, and keep moving forward that will ultimately determine if you reach your destination.
That makes sense. Anyone can get all excited and motivated at the beginning, but it's that ability to keep going when the excitement fades. That's what really separates those who achieve dreams from those who just dream.
You got it. And that brings us to another point
Okay.
I noticed was woven through these sources. This idea that achieving a dream
Yeah.
is about so much more than just the end result.
Okay.
It's about the journey itself, the person you become along the way.
Ooh, tell me more about that.
Well, think about it. When you set out to achieve something meaningful,
Right.
you're inevitably pushing yourself outside your comfort zone. Right. You're facing challenges, you're learning new skills, you're developing resilience. All those experiences shape you. They mold you into a stronger, more
Yeah.
capable person.
So it's like you're not just working towards a goal, you're also working on yourself. You're becoming a better version of yourself in the process.
That's exactly it. And that brings us to a really interesting question
Right.
that one of the sources posed. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it.
Oh, I love a good question. Hit me.
Okay. The source asked, if you could achieve anything, knowing you couldn't fail, what dream would you pursue right now?
Ooh, that is powerful.
Yeah.
That really makes you think about what truly matters, what you'd go after if fear wasn't holding you back.
And sometimes just asking yourself that question can spark something inside of you. It can reignite that passion, that drive to start taking action.
Okay, I need a minute to process that one. Listeners, you do the same. And while we're pondering that big question, let's take a quick moment to recap what we've learned about turning dreams into reality. All right, so we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
Yeah, we have.
Self-awareness, setting those concrete goals, making a plan, taking care of ourselves, embracing the messy parts, even this idea that, the journey is as important as the destination.
Right.
But I think it'd be helpful to, ground all this
Yeah.
with some real-world example.
Absolutely.
So what if someone's, let's say, they're dreaming of starting their own business?
Okay.
How could they use this, dream-achieving toolkit
Yeah.
to make that happen?
Well, first, I think they would have to get really clear on why this business matters to them.
Right. Is it passion? Freedom? Financial independence?
Exactly.
Maybe all of the above.
Right. And they'd also need to honestly assess their strengths
Right.
and weaknesses.
Yeah. Are they good at networking?
Yeah.
Building relationships? Do they have, the financial skills to manage a business?
Right. What skills do they need to develop?
So it's about kind of taking inventory of what they bring to the table.
Exactly.
The good and the maybe not so good.
Exactly. And then they need to define, what does success actually look like
Okay.
for
Yeah.
them? Is it about building a multi-million-dollar company
Right.
or creating a small,
Right.
sustainable business?
Right. Because success is so personal. Right.
It's-
It has to be defined by them,
Exactly.
not by somebody else or some external measure.
Exactly. And once they have that clear vision
Right.
of success,
Yeah.
that's when they can start breaking down
Right.
that big, audacious goal
Yeah.
into smaller, more achievable steps.
Okay. So maybe it's researching their target market,
Right.
writing a business plan, securing funding,
Yeah.
developing, a prototype.
Exactly. And remember, anticipating those potential roadblocks.
Right.
What if they face unexpected competition?
Right. Or they can't get funding.
Exactly. Having that plan for dealing with those challenges can make all the difference.
Okay. And of course, like we were talking about, they need to build a support system.
Yes.
Maybe it's connecting with other entrepreneurs, finding a mentor,
Yeah.
even just having friends and family who believe in them.
Absolutely. And they can't forget about their well-being.
Right.
Starting a business is stressful. So having those healthy coping mechanisms,
Right.
taking breaks when needed, prioritizing their physical and mental health
Right.
is going to be really crucial.
Okay. So that's a, more concrete example.
Right.
But what if someone's dream is a little less tangible? Let's say their dream is to find more inner peace,
Yeah.
more happiness.
Yeah.
Do those same principles apply?
I think that's a great question.
Yeah.
And it really highlights how versatile these strategies are. Even with something like inner peace, those same principles apply.
Okay. So They'd start by asking themselves, like, what does inner peace even mean to me?
Exactly.
What does that look like?
Right. And then they could explore different practices
Okay.
that might contribute to that. Maybe it's meditation, yoga,
Right.
spending time in nature, journaling.
It's like they're building their own personalized toolkit, right?
Exactly.
Mine help you.
And again, anticipating the challenges.
Okay.
What might get in the way? Maybe it's a busy schedule. Maybe it's self-doubt. Maybe it's that feeling of, I'm not good at meditation or I'm not good at yoga.
Right, right. And they could use those same strategies we talked about, right?
Exactly.
For dealing with that discomfort.
Yeah.
Reframing their perspective. Self-compassion. Reminding themselves that the journey is a part of the process.
Exactly. And they could also seek out support, maybe joining a meditation group,
Right.
finding a therapist, or just connecting with others who are on a similar path.
This has been, like, so insightful. I feel like we've taken this kind of abstract idea of achieving dreams
Yeah.
and broken it down into something
Yeah.
anyone can use.
I agree. I think the beauty of it is that it's not one size fits all. It's about taking these principles and adapting them to you.
It's like we've given everyone listening a framework,
Yeah.
a set of tools,
Yeah.
and now it's up to them to take those tools
Right.
and build something amazing.
As we wrap up,
Yeah.
I'm reminded of that question we posed earlier.
Oh, yeah, the big one.
The big one. If you could achieve anything,
Yeah.
knowing you couldn't fail,
Yeah.
what dream would you pursue right now?
It really makes you think about what matters, doesn't it?
Does.
It takes away all the fear, all the self-doubt,
Yeah.
and it just lets you connect with what you really want.
And maybe, just maybe,
Yeah.
asking yourself that question, allowing yourself to dream big, you
Yeah.
can unlock a passion,
Yeah.
a motivation you didn't even know you had.
What a great thought to leave everyone with. So, to all our listeners out there, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the world of dreams. We hope you've gained some insight, some inspiration
Yeah.
to take those dreams and turn them into reality.
And remember, no matter where you are on your journey, you have the power to achieve amazing things. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep chasing those dreams.
Until next time, keep diving deep.